Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the I Am CDB project. I, of course, am your host, CDB. You are not. And today we're going to just do a head shave with the Lakeshore Drive soap we were just using for a face shave. If you saw that video, so I'm wetting the dome here. I'm going to use a DE today because a lot of people say, hey, why don't you ever use DEs? I do. I generally do it about once a week. I do it off cam, and quite frankly, the results I get with the DE are generally just not as good as what I get with the cart, and I end up having to sort of touch up with the cart. So generally, I just use a cart. It just works better around the contours of the dome here. Thanks everyone for watching or coming back to watch. I do appreciate it. Please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. That helps me out. Like the video if you appreciate it. Even if you're not a head shaver, maybe you appreciate the effort. I know a lot of people in the traditional community don't like carts of any sort, whether it's just for traditional reasons or for environmental reasons or what have you. But they do have their place. Excuse me. But today we're going with the DE. And so the most important thing to watch with the DE is not nipping the ears. So you have to be pretty careful about that, or at least I do. You just have to stay mindful of the fact you're using the DE. It's a little easier to cut yourself with the DE. In my estimation. But, I mean, it does the job. Just for me, I really have to dig in, and I can't really dig in with the DE because it will cut me. And so a cart affords me a little better head shave. On the face, either a cart or a DE works, but on the head, the cart just affords me a better shave, generally speaking. And I hope everyone is having a good Saturday. As I said in the face shaving video, it's a really nice, beautiful day out here today, over 70 degrees. I think the high today was 78, or it's supposed to be. I don't know if to hit that mark, but it's definitely warm. As soon as I stepped outside this morning, you could just feel that warmth. And it was just a beautiful thing. Just really beautiful thing. And so, by the way, we're using a vintage Gillette here for our head shave today. And again, DE. So rejoice everyone who doesn't like when I use carts, but it works best. See, like in these areas, like right here, the DE just doesn't make that much contact with my head. And so I'm basically doing nothing. Whereas the cart, there's usually a little bit of flex to some of the carts I use, and I can sort of muscle it in there. Whereas the DE in some places just doesn't do as well. Just doesn't get as clean of a shave, or I have to, make extra effort. And you do have to sort of, unlike on your face, when you're shaving with the DE on your head, I just lost a light bulb. So it got a little darker in here. Maybe that's a good thing. Anyhow, you have to sort of adjust the angle as you're going around the contours, or it won't make contact with your head. So you have to stay cognizant of that as well. And as you can see, it takes me a little more time with the D because you have to pay more attention. Lots more curves and things to go around, obviously, when you're head shaving, so many more things to be concerned about. I always have ultimate respect to the guys who use like shavettes and things like that on their head. That's got to be incredibly difficult. So my hat's off to you guys that use straights and shavettes on your head. Super, super difficult. I'm sure it's nothing I want to attempt, quite frankly. But much respect to those of you who do it, Ronnie Greer and, you know, many others. There's so many curves and stuff that, you know, when you're using it straight on your face, it's, but you know, this, at least this part is mostly flat, so it's quite a bit easier. The dome presents a lot more challenges generally than shaving your face. Okay, let's just get this area again. Again, pulling our ear out of the way to make sure we don't nip it. And obviously I recommend everybody use a lot of caution. When I have cut myself shaving the head, 9 out of 10 times, I think maybe I've cut my head in total, you know, maybe 4 or 5 times. 4 of them on the ears, just not paying attention, moving the razor around my head or something. And so just be careful and remain cognizant of those ears, because you will nip them if you're not careful. All right. And so it's coming along, but again, I will take a DE off cam and touch it up a little bit after I'm done, because there's some places I really need to apply some pressure. And you can't really apply pressure with this guy, because if you do, there will be blood. And so no one wants that, or at least I don't. But overall, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be going front to back, and somehow I lost track and started going back to front again, not paying attention to what I'm doing, which isn't uncommon. Sometimes you get sidetracked and, you know, you're not paying attention. Now, I tend to take longer strokes always. Some people, they just shave little areas, you know, and then they move on to another. I tend to take longer strokes for good or bad. I just do what works for me. And of course, I recommend that you all do the same. And then I'll feel, you know, after I'm done and sort of touch up. That's just the way that I shave. And, you know, some folks might disagree with that, but it's what works for me. And the best thing you can do really when head shaving is just use the hand you're not shaving with and just sort of feel what's there. And just sort of hit those areas as you go. Really feeling means a lot more than seeing with head shaving. Because you can't see a lot of the hair, but it's there. You can feel it, but you cannot necessarily see it. Especially when you get older and your hair tends to get white, like mine. My hair, if I had hair on my head, would be white completely. And so, kind of hard to see sometimes. Not a terrible job. Not great, but not terrible. But we've gotten through it with no nicks, cuts, weepers, or creepers. So we'll call it a success. I want to thank everybody for watching. Shout out to the folks in the Head Bangers, or excuse me, the Head Shavers ball. I'm hearkening back to MTV days, Head Bangers ball. Anyway, shout out to the guys in the Head Shavers ball. I hope all of you in the group are having a great day. And if you haven't joined that group and you're a head shaver, it's on Facebook, Head Shavers Ball. Check it out. A lot of dome shavers or supporters of dome shavers in that group. So go on in, check it out. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do. Thumbs up the video. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB. You're not. God bless.